I actually wanted to come and chat with you guys about self-leadership, and this is following up from a conversation that I had yesterday with a new lady in my space. And how amazing, can I just say this, to be living in a time when we are reconnecting through conversation with the most amazing human beings on this planet. And it's all being done right now through an intimate circle of ladies that I get to call my friends in the unapologetic space. And they just continuously and consistently introduce me to the most incredible human beings. And it's such a blessing to be part of that space, but also to meet all of these wonderful people all over the world. And the question that was posed to me yesterday was, the lady had gone onto my website and she goes, but you are studying and working in so many different areas. What exactly is it that you do? And I had to take a moment to pause because, so often when we are in the journey of our journeys, we don't necessarily pause to reflect on all the little golden nuggets that life gives us along the way to see the puzzle that it has formed in absolute divinity. And that has been my life. It's always been a case of life leading me to the next puzzle piece that I needed for myself, for my personal growth, for my personal understanding, and then integrating it into the work that I am here to do, and ultimately creating this extraordinary puzzle, can I say it like that, that creates self-leadership, that forms part of self-leadership. And in order for you to really delve into self-leadership, it's not one piece of studying that you are getting to do at this time and space, because it is understanding the whole of self. The whole of self comprises of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your energetic body, and understanding how all of these work together, and then how they work with consciousness, universal consciousness, and all our relationships at the same time. It's then becoming willing to see things differently, understanding how everything is rippled by everything else, and being able to see patterns evolving over thousands of years, and following the trajectories of these into the future in order for us to connect to what is coming next. So it is a complex field. How do you know self unless you understand and have wisdom in all of the bodies, so that you can then activate and consciously introduce the various bodies in creating the legacy that you desire. And the legacy that you desire is the energetic tone in which you are living at this time. That is your true legacy, because that is what you are choosing right in this moment. And that is the impact, the influence that you have in consciousness and every single person within your space in this moment. It's why I say to people, live your legacy, because when you live your legacy, you bring the responsibility of self for self to this very moment. It empowers you to live with presence. Because when we start saying, I want to leave a legacy, that is still very external from us, and it has us putting things off, making the present moment and the consequences of our choices in the present moment, it's okay if I don't do this, or if I do this. It's not that sense of everything matters and everything that I'm choosing is turning things to matter. We have come out of a time when we were conditioned to self-abandon, when we were conditioned to focus externally, when we were conditioned to really think of ourselves in relation to the tribe. And how do we get to belong to the tribe? How do we get to be loved by the tribe? How do we get to be valued to the tribe? Because everything was, if you are not loved or valued by the tribe, then your actual worth is minimal, and chances are you're going to be expelled from the tribe and die. Well, the good news is that many of us have consistently and continuously been expelled by the tribe because we just never belonged. And so we became lone wolves. And it was within this expulsion from the tribe that we were gifted the opportunity to go inwards and go, well, if I'm not loved by the tribe, if I'm not lovable by the tribe, then can I love myself? Can I appreciate myself? And how do I live in a way that I respect myself? And this is the period that we have now entered. It is the period of a return to self. And it is only once we truly return to self with utmost curiosity and love and acceptance and appreciation that we delve into all of these different bodies, how they work together, how they interact, how we can start using them to strengthen the individual and collective bodies. And from that space, we lead from our centers without needing people to follow us. We no longer have to motivate people. We allow people to be inspired or repelled. Free choice. And we don't take responsibility for that. But what we do take responsibility for is our personal well-being and happiness. And understanding that that only happens when we live within complete integrity with ourselves. And with integrity, I'm not necessarily referring again from, your values and your judgments and all of that. Integrity of the whole. Becoming whole again, or to acknowledge the wholeness of self again. And by understanding all of that, that is where the integrity of the structure is returned, and therefore your power of self is returned to you. So when we start delving into self-leadership, it really is about you coming home to you. You being willing to question and release all of the stories, all of the conditioning that you have received over whatever many years you've had in this lifetime. Because it's more important to you to fall in love with yourself and to be happy than what it is to be right. So there's a period that we all go through where we have to almost embody the sacred fool. Not caring if we look foolish, not caring if we're not making sense to other people, not caring if we are consistently proving ourselves wrong. Because you see, one of the shadow archetypes, which is the self-saboteur, is also the high achiever. And it is the one that doesn't want to look like the fool. Because you're more worried about what everybody else is going to say about you and how you're going to look in their eyes than what you are with your own happiness. And this is a tough part of the journey. In fact, it is the part of the journey which has most high achievers actually back off and go, this is too much. Like, I can do all of the other pieces, but this piece is too much for me because it's too important for me how I am being perceived by everybody else. And I want to be perceived as intelligent. I want to be perceived as successful. I want to be perceived as this high thriver or whatever the case might be. And in that, we get stuck in still wanting to know more, wanting to do more, wanting to overcome more, wanting to be put on the pedestal more, wanting to be admired more, having a better hero story. All of that is still old consciousness. New consciousness is when we allow ourselves to be enough, from where we get to receive. And I don't know about you, honey, but it took me decades to even conceive the possibility of just being enough to receive my desires. Without having to prove myself to anybody, without having to tick all the boxes that I had so diligently done up until then. Because until you get to that space, you are not actually going to delve into yourself and to go, wow, if I'm truly this powerful, if I'm truly this worthy, I want to understand, I want to stand upon self and then figure all of the delicious pieces out. So self-leadership is coming home to you and really remembering who and what you are, from where you get to choose consciously on which frequency you want to live. You tune your mindset. I did the live yesterday on mindset and understanding that mindset is where you are setting your mind, your dial to focus on. So you get to choose your mindset. You get to choose the energies that you allow into your life and the energy that you actually are willing to put out into the world, very consciously understanding just how powerful your energy is and that you are creating through your focus. And then you get to set the tone of your life as the legacy that you get to live. So I'd love to hear from you guys. How do you experience self-leadership? Do you understand all the different bodies at play and how they are interacting? If you are a female entrepreneur and you are intrigued by the concept of unapologetic, where we learn how to network and mastermind like women, because we've learned enough from our men, who we are very grateful for having gone first in this journey as well, then DM me and I will send you the link so that you can come as my guest for free to one of our sessions. And that is it for today. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please do stay in touch. And don't forget, you get to live your legacy unleashed, unlimited, and unafraid. Have an amazing day wherever you are in the world. I'll chat again tomorrow. Have a good one. Cheers.